Well, let's see. Since yesterday at about 11 o'clock in the morning, we've had a surface grinder, concrete grinder, that we rented down the United Rentals. We rented one, and we thought we were going to be able to cover enough square footage fast enough where we really only needed to have one. But turns out this is extremely slow work, and what we're doing is we're actually etching the surface of the concrete for the epoxy that we're putting down. And I was reading in the comments from the last video that we put up, second to last video we put up, some of you guys have been in that industry and laid some of this stuff before, and they charge a lot of money to do this, and that's why we wanted to tackle it on our own. And we've never done it, and we're really beginning to understand why it's so much money, because the amount of prep work, it's kind of like a really good paint job on a car. You know, spraying the paint is actually the easiest part of doing the job. It's all the prep work and everything that goes in underneath that really is what makes the quality of the job what it is. And so what we're doing right now is basically the sanding and the body work, if you will, before we're ready to paint. And it's extremely dusty, and it can't be dusty at all. So we've got, I forget what the total square footage out there in the shop is, 6,000 square feet, whatever it is, that's open concrete area, not including the office spaces that are actually going to get some of this epoxy as well. But every single square inch of that has to be etched and sanded so that it gives a tooth, something to grab onto, for this epoxy to stick and to hold. And they basically were saying, look, you have brand new concrete. If you didn't do anything other than prep it and get it immaculately clean, you can expect it to last about 5 years. If you prep it the right way, sand it all with this diamond grit or whatever it is. It's like these steel little, they call them stones, but I don't know if they're actually stone. It looked like pieces of steel that were real rough cut, and they're like these little pucks that go on these spinning circles, basically a type of sandpaper, and you use it to etch the surface of the concrete. And that tooth that you put in it, that actual cutting groove you do across the surface of the concrete, takes it from having a dull sheen to it to actually a flat textured surface. When I say flat, I mean flat as in like matte black or a flat color. It's very, very dull, and that's what you're looking for, is that good etched dull finish, so that you've got something good for this stuff to stick to. Then you've got to go back and sweep your guts out until you get every last bit of dust off of it, because the dust is going to keep it from sticking. So we've been working our ass off. Steve and I were over here yesterday from earlier in the morning till about 10:30 last night. Steven's a real trooper. You will never meet anyone who has a work ethic like my brother Steven. There is nobody who can work as many hours as this dude, as hard as this dude, that I have ever seen in my life. And we've done everything from asphalt paving to concrete work to fence building, lots of manual labor, lots of work. And for example, went home at 10:15 last night, which means you don't get in bed till about 11:15 after you've eaten something. Steven was up at 4 o'clock and here this morning at 4:30. He has been here all day. He's eaten 2 tacos. He refuses to take any more breaks than that. This dude is this dude's a badass. This dude's a grown man who is gonna do the impossible, and he does it every single day. He deserves all the credit in the world. So anyway, don't tell him that I got all mushy about it. Let him see that when this video comes out. All right, guys, so we're here. Let's go see. Oh yeah, by the way, Robbie just came into town. That's another hardworking human being. And he went by the rental place, got another grinder, because the math that we saw was it took 9 hours to do 1/3 of the surface area. So we had 18 hours left at the same pace. So we went and got another one. And so we're hoping to cut that time in half. They've both been over here grinding away. From what we could tell, we're going to be here till about 10 o'clock tonight to get it all etched, and then we got to vacuum it and clean it all up. So anyway, we're here. Robbie's here. Robbie's a badass. Couldn't do it without him. Another amazing work ethic human being. I couldn't be more proud to call those two dudes my brothers. You can't. Get you some of this.
This is fun.
It's a fun job.
Yeah, it's the most fun I've ever had.
So they're both running these things. They both got stones on the bottom, 2 wheels. You can see the pattern that it's leaving on the floor. And all this out here, where you see these tire marks, this is not good. Right about where the tire marks fade away, you see this etched surface finish. That is what we're looking for. You're looking for just the surface of the rock to be coming through from what they've told us. That's what we're looking for. So all this area you see is real hazy is good to go. Meaning that we've still got 60% of this stuff left. And this dude's been here 150 hours. This dude's been here since 11 o'clock, and now it's about 3:30 or 4. Hey bro, how you doing? Great. Are you tired?
No.
I feel bad for you right now, bro.
That thing's a pile.
What is that? Is that downforce?
Dirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it do a better job that way?
Yeah, it's still half as good as that one.
The one Robbie has without anything attached does a better job than this one with 100 pounds of dirt on it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I work twice as hard for half as much work.
Hell yeah.
Productive.
Let me high five on that.
Oh yeah.
All right, dude. Well, I'm gonna go.
I'll be right here when you get back. I bet I don't move.
God dang.
No.
I'm gonna go out here and look at the concrete on the side, go pick up the material for it. I was gonna show these folks what other work you have left to do. I'm about to go on vacation, so.
I gotta grind that too, so.
Yeah, oh, I didn't tell you, I need to grind that.
Yeah.
The parking lot we gotta grind too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's basically a bunch of badass work, so. I'd be excited.
I quit, America.
All right, now that we pissed those dudes off in there, they look like they're really enjoying life. Check this out. This is what we got poured over here today. Check that out. Money. A hole in the ground, that's where the dyno's actually gonna mount. And all this slab that runs out here to this corner is gonna tie back in up here where that flashing is. And that's where I'm headed actually right now, is to get the material for that. And depending on whenever this sets up, will depend on when we start welding this bad boy together. So they've got the material sitting down there. I'm gonna take y'all with me so we can go pick that stuff up. And maybe in the next few days or on the next episode, we'll show you what this looks like. All right, so I've got 25 and 30 foot material. I think the shortest stuff I have is 25 foot. And I got a 20 foot trailer, so check this out. We're looking a little bit dumb, right? So I got 5 foot hanging off the ass end of the trailer right now. I'm gonna have another 5 foot past that. So I'm gonna be way out here. I'm gonna tie me some type of red flag off the end of this thing and take my time. All right, we're down to the last little bit of stuff. You can see I got all the 8-inch purlin on here and the I-beam. These are 10-inch by 12 pound a foot. And these are all of the 8-inch purlin that we're gonna use for the ceiling rafters on that addition. They're grabbing the rest of the 25 footers. These are, well, the receivers are on the bottom. The rest of this is the purlins for the center section, because I've got 4 or 5 sections at 14 foot and then 1 at 21. So these are all the filler pieces that are gonna go in between in the center section down that one side. So once we get these loaded up, I'll strap this crap in and we'll get headed back to the new shop. All right, well, we made it back to the shop. And it doesn't look like we lost any material. So that's good. Let's go see if these dudes got anywhere. It's hot outside, but you know what? This job in here sucks. I don't want to grind concrete. Not throwing shade at anybody who does it, but mad respect. Look at this guy. What's up, little sleepy heads?
I did not want to get up.
Makes two of us. How you doing, man? All right, guys, so we're back for some more. For the most part, it looks like we've got a pretty good texture on the concrete. Check it out. See all this cloudy, the cloudy area is what you're after. And Steven was in here pretending to work yesterday. That's why we're having to do it again. Why do we have to do all of it again, Steven? You were just in here pretending?
I had the machine on reverse.
He had the machine reverse polarity.
So they were spinning backwards and it actually added
Concrete.
Yeah, so we had to do twice as much work.
Well, you know what? I love doing, what's the old saying? We do her right because we do her twice.
That's right, baby.
No, but for real, the stones on the one machine, you see the one that's got a bucket? I was riding on that thing too last night.
And see.
Yeah. The stones on that one seem to be kind of glazed over after a little while. So we were looking at the rotation of the little heads on the bottom of it last night. And we're thinking that if we swap the stones from one to the other, that maybe we'll have an aggressive edge back. We're gonna take the ones that spin this way and move them to this side so that you see this edge right here where all this material is stacking up on the back side. That's because as this shears across the floor, it shears this way. Well, it stacks all the material up on this side, meaning like all this is laid this direction. And our thought is that by turning them around, we're gonna force this coarse edge into the concrete on both sides by swapping them. And we're thinking that maybe that's gonna make a new rejuvenation-ing Yowzers.
Yeah, we're really out of options. And it's either that or I go and get my toothbrush and start scrubbing the floor.
Well, I've seen your toothbrush and it looks like you could clean battery terminals with it. All right, first test pass. Looks like it's making some dirt. Come on, don't suck. It does, it sounds like we're getting a little cutter in. Yeah, bro. Right? I see a difference, I think.
I think so.
Well, we'll know in about 4 hours. So, y'all just hang in there. All right, so while we're working inside on that slab, getting it ground down, getting ready to put down epoxy, we got my old man out here and he's shaping up the rest of the material that we've got out on the front side. Trying to get this prep before we got rain, because a lot of this is kind of topsoil that's been packed, and we really need to make our mind up about what we're going to do as a curb down the side of this, or what we're going to do to keep that from eroding down into the ditch. And that we're kind of ad-libbing that as we go. He's out here shaping all this stuff up right now for drainage, and we're figuring out a game plan for the rest of that. Looks like our slab's curing up pretty good. We wanted to get started on building the addition, this awning over here. I went and grabbed all that material. Y'all went with me yesterday and we picked up all the steel that it's gonna take to get started, but we've got a couple things still to do. We've got to set we meant to set weld plates in the concrete, but we were just moving too quickly. So we're gonna have to pin some plates out there for weld plates. And once this dries up, and we're gonna start framing on that far end because the AC units are actually gonna sit on top of the roof. We decided that, well, we didn't decide, but the AC guys said, look, you need to have those in a way where you're going to have ample airflow. And so that's what we're going to have to do, is set the AC units up on top of that addition in that corner. So we're waiting to frame that up and then get those done. And then we're going to stub some stuff out the side of the building, all the copper and everything. It's going to run from up there at those units right outside. Those are the air handlers up there in the very back hanging from the ceiling. And then those other units are going to set outside on top. Copper's going to run through the wall, and that's going to be the second part of what's going to make AC. Then we've got some ducting that comes out. Basically after that, you flip the breaker and air condition your life. We brought our big ass fan over here. It's going to mount up on that beam. That's going to happen the early part of next week, but we're here scrambling right now because we have to get the floor prepped, get the stuff down. There's a couple of coats for the stuff that we bought. We bought the aluminum oxide pellets, which adds another stage to what we're doing, but it gives you a texture. You know, like this is kind of a broom finish. The inside is going to have these tiny little pellets in it, and that's going to help us to have traction whenever we're moving around on the inside. So we've got a couple of layers of stuff to do and a couple different things that we actually got to throw into the paint. The paint flakes go in, and then the aluminum oxide stuff, and then there's a clear coat over the top. So there's a lot of work to do. We've got to squeegee this whole thing and then back roll it perpendicular to that. And then within like 12 hours flash time, you have to come back and put the clear on the top. So doing a bunch of work to get ready for a bunch of work. Let's get it. All right, folks. Well, we've huffed every type of CFC and propellant and mixing agent and hardener that they make in an epoxy kit. And we just got done sprinkling the aluminum, I think aluminum dioxide, it's like sand, across the top side of all of this. Got clear spread in every single square inch of the whole thing. And then back rolled each direction. And we're done. We're done minus, we got a little patch area. We're gonna come back here in a couple of hours and finish up. But as far as epoxying the floor, grinding the floor, cleaning the floor, sweeping the floor, alcohol, denatured alcoholing the floor, we're done. And we're whooped. And that was a long uphill battle, but
3 days.
3 16-hour days.
Really 50 hours in?
Something.
Yeah.
Not bad. Big shout out to everybody who came and helped us. Dirk Ritual with DBR Tile, the guys at the shop who showed up to put in some work. Love you. Appreciate you guys. And I think we're gonna go take a well-deserved
Birthday nap.
Oh yeah, Steven's birthday. I think he just turned 21.
Happy birthday, y'all. Happy.
So we're gonna go nighty night, sleepy tight,
Sleepy tight.
and get some rest before we come back and get after it on the next phase. We're getting close. So close. Almost done. Y'all hang in there. We will too. Later.